people may ask, why am I doing this? Why doing this? I want people to know that really I'm doing this because I'm called, and it's something that is driven by my burning passion that is mixed.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 15 Between. I'm Shakira, and we are continuing our series on menstruation while also honoring our love for Africa. Today's guest is Matthew Nula, and I can't uh, glide over this. I have to bring it to the forefront here that Matthew, you are my first male guest for 15 Between. So I just want to let you know that you are
Wow, I'm
representing
honored.
representing for the fellows here. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to sit down with me to talk about your background in agroecology. So I'm just going to turn it over to you. So
Thank you very much, Shakira. You're really doing a great job. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you
Yeah.
just
Thank you
fine.
very much, Shakira, for giving me this privilege to come on air to be heard and to be seen, and also as a first male guest on your show, exciting show. I am very honored. My name is Matthew, as Shakira has mentioned, and I am an agroecologist. I'm an eco designer, a permaculturist, a slow foodist, a climate change activist, a humanitarian, a creative artist, and a wellness and soccer coach. And I'm also into the missionary, like the Christian missionary works. I use soccer to make this happen. And by the virtue of grace, I am the founder and the director for Matlawi Ecological Regenerative Center, and also FC Matlawi Kicking for Green Youth soccer team, which was born out of the golden belly of the Matlawi Ecological Regenerative Center. And our center was registered, it has been registered as an ecological-based nonprofit situated here in the Volta region of Ghana. And our mission is for humans, animals, fruits, vegetables, and everything to live peacefully and happily with a well-functioning ecosystems. Our mission is to teach, to empower, and to promote peace and culture. And our works are guided by permaculture and regenerative principles, ethics, and design systems. I've been developing an eco village, a regenerative center, an eco village for the past 4 years, since 2017 till date. And people may ask, why am I doing this? Why doing this? I want people to know that really I'm doing this because I'm called, and it's something that is driven by my burning passion that is mixed with purpose. Because on my way back, I saw a lot of things, devastation here and there, and people in the community going through the use of toxic chemicals and using things. And this really triggered me to really come to do this. And that's why I'm here today doing this. And I'm very happy about doing it.
Yeah. And Matthew, I just want to say you have an extensive background, and I'm so impressed because 15 Between is focused on talking to healthcare professionals. And some people may
Thank you
say,
very much.
why is it that we have someone who's involved in farming and agroecology on here as a healthcare professional? But I really want to drive home that the things that we eat has a lot to do with uh, our health and how we function and how we're able to live in a life full of vitality. So that's what's going to be our focus today. We want to talk about farming, farming techniques, healing properties of plants. Saying to everyone, what is an agroecologist?
When you talk about agroecology, you are talking about the agricultural aspect of a natural agricultural system, which differs or is very different from the use of toxic chemicals or the synthetic chemicals into into doing the natural farming. It's opposites. It's very different. So I'm more of an agroecologist, which means I do my agric ecologically, which means naturally, without the use of toxic chemicals, synthetics, and what have you.
Let's start talking about some of the farming
Let's,
techniques that you use there at the Ecological Center. Before you can dive into a lifestyle of healthy fruits and vegetables, it's ideal to make sure you know where your fruits and vegetables are coming
okay,
from and how they're grown. So what I want to do is I want to focus on, when we're looking at that as a farmer, and
okay,
the relationship between soil and plants and so forth. What
okay,
do you look at as in terms of uh, how do you determine or identify that you have good soil or healthy soil? And what are the characteristics of healthy soil when it comes to farming?
okay, good. Most times, as a permaculturist or as an agroecologist, uh, we normally what we do things like normally we visit the site. Let's say, for instance, you want to start up a garden and you want to know that you are having a good source of food. You want to really know where your food is coming from. You want to grow your food in a natural way without using toxic chemicals or whatsoever. First you have to identify by most times you have some things on the soil, something like the earthworm. You know the earthworm,
No, I'm not familiar with that.
like the earthworm, some worms on the
Hmm. Oh,
yeah, some worms.
earthworms. Okay,
Yeah,
I
the
got you.
earthworms.
Earthworms. Uh-huh. Okay.
Sometimes we know with this, like we use some natural things to identify that the soil is good, or sometimes we happen to test the soil. We do soil testing, or sometimes we plant things and we watch things that used to grow on that particular ground or soil before we go into using it or developing it more.
Okay.
So if it needs to be developed or if it needs to be amended, we have different organic ways or natural ways we develop our soil to better produce, make our plants very good. It's something that provides an environment for our plants to grow. And this, when we talk about that, we talk about the different crops and we talk about the woods and everything to grow in. Um, Also, what's it called? We talk about the filtration, how it cleans our water and prevents the natural hazards and all that. But when the soil is not properly in place,
Hmm.
it's also when the soil is not well in place, it also gives a bad feedback, a wrong feedback, which also affects us because everything is intricately connected with our health, our well-being, and everything. Even the food we grow in them, it's
Absolutely.
everything is connected. Yeah.
Okay. And so, with that, in our since our focus is menstruation, and there are a number of different symptoms that women deal with when it comes to experiencing their cycle and so forth.
Okay.
So, can you can you talk about just a little bit of the relationship between certain foods that will help in relieving like certain symptoms when it comes to menstruation? Um, Foods, something like maybe ginger or raspberry. What?
Before I delve into talking about the foods that are good for menstruation, some of the food or the herbs that are good for menstruation,
Yes.
I would like to talk about here, stand how we can amend our soil.
Okay. Very
Like,
good.
not, yeah, I want us to know how to amend our soil when we find out that our soil is not good, because it has a whole lot to do when it comes to us producing a very good food or fruit or what the herbs and other things, because it's a medium through which our plants are growing. So first, we have to look at making compost, composting organic matters.
Yes.
Secondly, we have to look at the system we call the mulching system. We have different types of mulching system, like two different mulching system. We have the living mulch and the dead mulch. People may ask me what is the meaning of the living mulch. A living mulch is when you use a creeping plant. The creeping plant, you grow a creeping plant over your soil to cover your soil. One is good for the visual appeal. Two is good to retain a moist in your soil. And it helps improve your soil through doing it like this. And also we have the dead mulch. The dead mulch is when you leave the dead organic matters on it, on the dead leaves and things on the soil.
Mhm.
After some time, you watch that the dead leaves and all those, they gradually break down into becoming nutrients to the soil and enriching the soil to grow your food or your crops very well.
What's what's the ramification if there's too many nutrients in the soil?
When there is too many nutrients, you see everything according to we always say too much of everything is bad.
Yes.
Everything should be done, you understand, with the proportion. That's why I said in the proportion. We have a ratio. We normally add. We always have ratio to add things. So if you don't make use of the ratio, it's also bad. It also triggers another problem or improves things that will trigger another, and it becomes a problem.
Yeah, and I can certainly relate to that. I mean, because there's so many people who's on this protein kick, protein,
Yeah,
and
exactly. Too
yeah,
much of it,
yeah,
too much,
and too much of it is definitely a bad thing. So it has to.
too bad.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So now, can we go into talking about the different herbs and also the different fruits and veggies that's available for women
Yeah,
to help
there
them?
are like a few I have to talk about. I want to talk about ginger.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I want to talk about ginger.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Perfect.
Ginger is a very very good when it comes to the what's it called, the menstruation.
Yes.
Ginger is good for the ladies, the women to take ginger. It protects them against diseases because ginger is loaded with antioxidants,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very good to prevent damages in the body's DNA, and also they can help fight off chronic diseases and also what's it called, and also the radicals, the
Yes.
free
Free radicals.
radicals.
Yep.
Yeah, they help fight this. So ginger is one thing they should also you should always take, try to take, but in proportion.
Yes.
Yeah, you should take it in a very good amount.
Yes.
Another essential nutrient and benefit. It helps weight loss, digestion, heart health, and everything. And all these also help fight what's it called, the free radicals through because it has the what's it called, the antioxidants too in it. And these antioxidants are things that help fight the free radicals, also known as the toxic substances in the body.
And trying to drive home here is that there's always an option, there's always an answer. There's no need to rely on synthetic drugs to relieve a number of different symptoms that, as a woman, that you may be
Even see
experiencing.
some women when, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
That's why
Now,
you see some women or some ladies, when it comes to their menstruation, they are almost dead. They don't enjoy it how a normal a female, like a feminine thing, that they don't see it like this. Rather, they even pray sometimes to be like a man, which that's not the way it was created to be.
absolutely. And to be quite honest, Matthew, if I can share, I was one of those females because I didn't know that the health was actually in the food that we eat. Because I was experiencing so many different symptoms, and until I changed my
Oh,
diet and started eating more naturally from the earth and eating a
great,
lot of the foods that you mentioned, that I began to
great,
experience my love for my menstrual cycle, because beforehand
awesome.
I was going through it with the cramps, uh, the ups and downs, and so forth.
That's
But
awesome,
again, once I changed my diet, that really changed everything. That changed the game.
awesome.
Okay.
Heals us. Every day I'm in nature, I always connect with nature, to the earth. Nature heals us in different ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Hmm.
So it reduces our stress. It gives us healing. It prompts weight loss. It helps enable us to absorb vitamin D better. It
Yes.
keeps us youthful. It strengthens us in immune system, and it brings about, you understand, it brightens our mood. And also, what you notice whenever you are in nature, or you are the type that connects to nature, you feel happier,
Yes.
and also it age less painfully, and
Yes.
you concentrate better.
Yes. And I must say that it's a blessing for you to live where do you live because you have the benefit of having sunlight. Um, for, what 100%, 100% of the time there.
True,
So
true. Your vitamin
uh,
D is secured here.
yes, yeah,
Your vitamin D is secured.
yes, exactly. And I can attest to the fact that whenever I'm feeling like down and out, the minute I go outside and go for a walk, it just changes my mood.
Great,
From yes, all
great,
the way
great,
around. So
great,
yes, that connection to nature. I love it. Okay.
great. Pleased to for you having me on your program.
Yes, thank you.
And I also want to say that your program will go a long way because you are doing great things. What you're doing is great. I have read, I've been reading about what you're doing. It's so great. You have a very great vision and mission.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate you saying that. I really appreciate hearing that. So, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
And
you.
okay, and take care.